I wonder when they went from the bottle to the can.
I don't know.
I couldn't find it.
That art is just... It looks like the old Metallica art.
Yeah.
Was it Pusshead, the guy? Remember him?
I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
It looks like his art. I don't think it is.
I like that it comes in a box.
It's very special.
I've never seen that before.
Limited edition.
Yeah.
Right? You could save the box and
Could.
it comes
Put it
a
on your
desk
shelf.
ornament. Yeah, shelf ornament.
Got the art on the side.
We should put it on one of these shelves.
We could.
It's nice.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dolan.
I can't wait. I gotta get into it.
Whoa.
I'm so excited for stout weekdays, weeks, whatever we're
Months,
doing here.
stout time.
Stout time. And this is one of my favorite adjuncts. If you listen to the show at all, you know I love raspberry.
Yep.
So this week, from Surly Brewing Company, we have Raspberry Chocolate Torte Darkness.
A Russian Imperial Stout.
Now, I can tell you, the last episode we did was also a stout. And this one is thinner. But
little bit,
okay.
it's got more, I can already smell the chocolate just coming off the can.
And it has, and you can smell the raspberries too.
I was going to say, it is rye barrel.
Ooh, right.
Aged.
So spicy.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Rye barrel aged Russian Imperial Stout with cacao,
Yep, cacao.
raspberries, and vanilla
Vanilla. That's right. You know what else is in this thing?
beans. Deliciousness.
3 different hops.
Oh,
Okay.
Warrior hops, Amarillo, and Simcoe.
Warrior.
Old school hops,
Huh.
like IPA hops.
Warrior.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fitting for a beer called Darkness. Or
There
in a
you go.
Darkness series or whatever.
Okay, stop.
Oh, already?
Drink it.
Oh.
Drink
okay.
it?
You gotta try it.
I'll try. I'll take
Is
a little
this-
sip.
Oh my
Is
goodness.
this where we're at already?
Oh jeez. Oh.
Ooh, that's a lot of raspberry. That's good.
Oh my
Dolan's
goodness.
like,
Wow.
wowie zowie.
Kind of lit my face up there for a second.
A little bit left.
He's like,
Yeah, there's
you
plenty
took
more.
a small pour there, Rich, for
There's
you.
plenty
That
more.
was a small
Make
one.
sure we share it all around here.
All right, malt bill.
Okay.
There's a lot. 2-row, Golden Promise, chocolate, black, Special B, Crystal, roasted barley, flaked oats,
Jeez.
all in here to give it that nice, smooth finish and feel.
I'll give you a special promise. If you like raspberries, this is the beer for you.
It's got a lot of raspberry in it.
Holy mackerel.
Kind of punches you in the mouth with it.
My favorite Kool-Aid flavor when I was a kid was raspberry. And it was in like the purplish packet. And then they
Not-
stopped
not-
making it. Not blue raspberry.
Not blue
No.
raspberry.
Straight
raspberry.
up raspberry. We're talking the 80s,
Have you-
mid-80s.
Did you ever go to Hastings, Nebraska?
To the museum?
Yes.
I have been.
It's fun.
Yeah,
It is
Really?
interesting.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Do you get free Kool-Aid?
No.
Darn.
No. Unfortunately, no. But they have I remember when Sharkleberry Finn came out.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like the first non-fruit kind of title. And there's a whole section about Sharkleberry Finn. And,
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting. I loved Sharkleberry Finn. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
And the mystery white
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
Yep.
So good. We've talked about these guys before. We've talked about Minnesota before.
Yep.
So I just specifically dug into the Darkness series
Okay.
because there was enough to do it. So it started, the first one I could find was in 2006.
Okay.
Was the first Darkness release or pour.
Surly was founded in 2005, so there you go.
There you go. So they
Okay.
probably popped it in there and put it in the barrel, and it came out in 2006.
Yep.
So it's one of their first series.
Well,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And it's been ever since. In 2015, they started making more than one adjunct or flavor, we'll call it, per year.
okay.
So for 9 years, it was just one, just barrel aged, whatever. And then in 15, they're like, you know what, we could maybe make 2 or 3 of these things and put different flavors in it and use the same base beer. So they started doing that. In 2018, they made the most. They made 4 different ones.
Okay.
So they had 4 different flavors. And then in 2019, they started packaging them in this sort of way.
With the
Single
box.
box and that sort of thing. So I dug deep into that part.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2019, the 3 flavors they had was double stuffed. So you can imagine it's like a
an
marshmallow Oreo
Yeah.
chocolate thing.
Yeah.
They had a mole. It was just called Mole Darkness.
Okay.
And then they had one that was called Old Fashioned Darkness. So based on the old fashioned drink.
Interesting.
So it was the base beer with Moroccan sweet orange peel added in. So probably been pretty good. 2020, we're talking COVID times now. They made 3. They did double vanilla darkness.
Okay.
They did another version of the mole darkness. And then they did one Vietnamese coffee, which I've had maybe, I think McKellar made a Vietnamese coffee beer once that I had. It was really good. But I never saw that or had it. These are pretty hard to find. Like, you're not really just rolling in and picking these up most places.
I'm sad because when I bought this a couple of weeks ago, it was the last one on the shelf at the Hy-Vee I go to all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Last year, Blueberry Crumble, which I think I've had.
I believe didn't we have this?
I don't know if we did, but if you and I had it or we all
Maybe
had it
I
together,
just bought
tons of
it.
blueberry. It was like a blueberry muffin.
Wow. That sounds amazing.
Gimme S'more, which is the name of a beer that Nebraska Brewing Company has here locally, but they had a s'mores version.
Okay.
And then they had another one of their ones based on a drink, was Midnight Manhattan. So close to what we had last week. It had a lot of cherries, a lot of sour cherries, but then it had orange peel added and bitters.
Oh, okay.
That'd be nice.
I think it would probably be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that's true to a Manhattan.
And then this year, 2022, we've got this one, the Tort, raspberry chocolate Tort. They have a ginger snap based on the cookie.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
And then they have one that they're calling Lumberjack Breakfast. So it's maple,
Bacon.
coffee, I wish,
Ah.
cinnamon, and vanilla.
Maple bacon beer? That would be okay. I'd be happy with what they
I've
have
had a
too,
maple bacon beer before, too.
though. Yeah.
But those are what's out there currently.
Okay, so I looked it up because it sounded familiar. I did have Blueberry Crumble Darkness last year. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5
Wow.
on,
Yeah.
and it looks like Friends. Let's see. Our friend Daniel Chavez had it. Oh, Brian Peterson had it. December 26th, 2021. Yeah, the day after,
Day after
Christmas.
Christmas.
Weird. You gave it a 3.75.
Maybe it was too much blueberry for me.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That was Christmas.
Some guy named Jorge toasted your...
Villanueva or something like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Here's the other thing I did on Surly that's different than when we've talked about them before. And I think we talked about this maybe once more with a different Minnesota brewery.
Okay.
THC.
We have talked about... Yep.
These guys make a THC beverage as well.
Wait, in Minnesota?
Yes.
Is it legal in
I
Minnesota?
believe
It
yes.
is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they make, I wouldn't call it a seltzer, maybe more like a soda.
Okay.
They have 3 different ones. It's called a tonic lime. One is mixed berry, and one is a tea and lemonade. So like an Arnold Palmer.
Oh, okay.
0 ABV, so no alcohol.
Right.
5 milligrams THC. Says on the can. Says a quick uptake in less than 30 minutes gets the desired effect you're looking for.
Oh.
And it's Minnesota grown THC stuff. So they're local. And then also on the can it says tastes damn good.
Oh.
Now, if you can get those anywhere, or if you have to get them at the brewery,
I bet they don't distribute.
I don't think, because when I was there at Surly, you couldn't even buy beer at Surly.
Right.
So it had to be at like a liquor store or a package shop or something. They would tell you where the closest place was. So
Right.
I'm assuming, which surprises me, that they can do this, but they can't sell. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
This seems like 8 steps past just selling your own beer.
Well, they got the law changed. So I went back and looked. I thought, wait a minute, we just did a Surly beer. I'm pretty sure, and we did. It was one of our Oktoberfest beers from last year. And we talked about that. They got the law changed. Remember, they had, so they can sell on site now.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I have a feeling
Probably
that
one of you pick it up there deals.
yeah, weed laws are probably different, so they can't distribute. You have to get it there, maybe at a package shop in
Minneapolis somewhere?
maybe, or just maybe in Minnesota, I guess, wherever it's legal. I don't know.
I don't know either, but from what I know, it's Colorado, Minnesota, maybe California. Those are the only places that can do these sort of things.
Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. I go to Colorado often. Weed's not my thing. I get it, though. I mean, I get it. I suppose I would try this if it was, if it was available. But yeah, I like hops. I like alcohol. That's my thing.
Yeah.
That's my vice.
It's interesting that it's 0 ABV.
Right.
But it must be because of the laws, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You probably can't mix them.
It'd probably be a bad idea.
Right.
I think that's the thing. Like, you can't mix alcohol and THC together. Like,
No.
it's
probably like a
undesirable effect.
4 logo kind of law,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, we'll call him Brain. He took 2 of those things together one time, and it wasn't good. So
No.
that makes sense what you guys are saying.
Okay.
Sherpa lined corduroy coat. You know what I'm talking about? So a jacket with, it looks like a light creamish color kind of sticking at the top.
Yeah.
They have one there, branded, $100. It looks awesome.
Really?
And I was like, ooh, I've never seen one of those. I wrote it down. Beach towel, never seen that.
Okay.
So they had a summer beer called Tropical Supreme. And they
they
made
did
a
a
big old
beach towel
of it. Looks very similar to your can of that energy drink there you got.
I mean, why wouldn't they? Corona does it, right? Corona
Exactly.
does.
Yeah, they do all that stuff.
swimsuits
Yeah.
and-
Well, and they're land of
towels.
1,000 lakes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that Minnesota
For sure.
or
Yeah.
10,000 lakes or
Yeah,
whatever.
10,000.
Yeah.
They had baby bibs, which I hadn't seen. And guess what?
cool.
They were all sold out.
That's cool.
And then they had their logo, so the S almost looked like the one that people would draw in high school. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? There's Surly S logo on an apron, like a handmade apron. It was $75, I think. But it was, I mean, that's cheaper than the apron I bought for my wife for Mother's Day. But that's a different story. But yeah, so it was a really cool black apron with red finish on it and then the logo on the side. So
Interesting.
There you go.
good for barbecuing or whatever you need to do around the house.
Never, ever underestimate a good barbecue apron.
For sure.
Yep.
I have one, and it says "Sauce Boss" on it. So I feel pretty good when I wear that thing.
Nice.
But it looks funny when I wear it in the summer with shorts on because it looks like I'm not wearing no pants. But I am, I promise. Neighbors, I'm wearing pants.
That's for
Makes
them
it
to
better.
find out. If
Yeah.
they're not eating your barbecue, then what's it their
That's right.
business?
Right.
I agree.
And honestly, the sauce boss with no pants,
It's a different deal, but
I bet you
sauce
the
boss-
brisket would be 10 times better than
it's
anybody
definitely
else.
moist. And
Yeah.
that's just a whole vibe, guys. It's a whole vibe.
Whoa.
I have some other related information.
Okay.
What do you got for us, sir?
Well, I wanted to know exactly what a tort was.
Oh.
Isn't it a dessert?
It
Yeah.
is. It
Okay,
is.
okay.
It's very German in descent. It is a cake made with many eggs. This was the actual, like, if
Many-
you looked it up on...
We can't make it
Interesting.
now. Eggs are too expensive.
No, way too expensive.
No.
If you look it up on the Webster's Dictionary
Okay.
website, a cake made with many eggs and grated nuts or dried breadcrumbs and covered with a rich frosting.
And fruit, too, right?
Well, generally, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the base of it. That's the
Gotcha.
base of it.
Kind of almost sounds like a German chocolate cake, kind of.
Maybe, yeah. It very German in descent, but there's also there's a place here in Omaha, the Lithuanian bakery.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
those.
that makes a
Kolaches or
Lithuanian
whatever?
tort.
Oh, really?
Oh
Okay.
my goodness! And it is. I don't even know how to explain it. It's so many just thin layers.
Like
It-
flaky goodness,
oh,
huh?
it's so good.
So good. There's the Sugar Makery in Council Bluffs. There's one there, and there's one in Glenwood, Iowa.
Yeah.
They do some torts, and they have like kiwi and strawberries on top of them.
What is the shape of it?
A circle?
Does it look like a little pie or?
Yeah.
The
I'd say.
Lithuanian tort is
Okay.
a rectangle.
Rectangle? Yeah, but it looks like a little pie.
Okay.
It's got like the frosting over the top.
Does it have
and then-
crust or an edge or what?
Yeah,
Okay.
but not much. It's like
Okay.
I don't know, not much of an edge.
Not really. The
No.
crust is pretty thin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
But it holds the stuff in, I guess.
yeah. I also looked up, and I think I did this. I don't remember for sure, and quite honestly, I ran out of time, so we're going to do it again. There's a article online called "10 Things You Didn't Know About Surly Brewing Company."
Oh,
We
And
did
I-
not do this before.
Did we not do this?
No.
Okay.
I don't think we did this.
I don't remember this.
But before you do that,
Yeah.
speaking of eggs
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how expensive they
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
I saw a meme that was like, "Well, kids, looks like we're dyeing potatoes for Easter."
I saw one that said, and it was like a boyfriend and girlfriend, and she's like, "Take me someplace expensive," and they were sitting at a dinner table in front of the egg cart at the grocery store. Oh, egg memes!
Yeah.
Egg memes.
All right, so Thrillist magazine back in 2014 wrote an article about Surly. 10 things you don't know about Surly Brewing Company. Number one, Surly's beer is brewed in a factory that once created industrial abrasives.
Oh,
So it's a old sandpaper factory.
oh, so retrofitted. Now it's a brewery.
Yep.
Nice.
Number five, it was his parents. It was the founder's parents
That own the factory.
that owned the factory.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
They basically made sandpaper.
He's like, I don't want to do the family business. I'm gonna make
On the
beer.
brew beer. Now, I do believe we talked about he rented like a corner of the space to brew.
I think that's
Oh
right.
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
We did talk about that. Yeah.
And then it just became way
And then
more
it-
profitable. And so
But
they
I
just-
don't remember it being a sandpaper factory.
Sandpaper.
I feel like I would have remembered that.
Yep. Number two, the Surly Ultimate Frisbee team is basically the Yankees of Frisbee. They have 4 national titles.
Whoa.
The Surly Frisbee team.
Is it like a semi-pro league?
I don't-
Ultimate Frisbee? That's fun to play.
Maybe.
No, I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I bet
I've
you.
only seen like Ultimate Frisbee in like videos or like.
I bet you it's a real deal. Like it's probably a league, like a legit league.
Don't call it Frolf. They get mad.
No,
Oh, it's not
Oh
Frisbee.
God,
No, it's not Frolf.
Frolf.
disc golf.
Number 3, Surly's head brewer once appeared in a movie with Nicolas Cage.
Face Off.
No, not nearly that cool.
Who?
Wild at Heart, where they go from playing their own music to Elvis Presley's with Nicolas Cage on the microphone. So, Wild at Heart. I vaguely remember this film.
Was it around? No, I don't remember.
Doesn't give a. It was his.
He's in every movie.
His metal band, which is called Power Mad.
Nicolas Cage's.
No. The head
Oh, in the
brewer.
mo- oh.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Gets
I was like,
involved.
Nicolas Cage is in a metal band, and I've never
Look at
heard
that
of it.
artwork.
Maybe.
That has some heavy metal vibes to it.
Yeah, that could be an album cover.
That could be on Ashley's arm. One of those tattoos.
Totally
yeah,
could.
it could.
Number 4, Surly beer has been enjoyed on all 7 continents, even the South Pole. So people have taken that beer and
That's
drank
cool.
it.
I was looking at how much it costs to go to Antarctica. The average cost to visit Antarctica is $8,000
Why?
Why?
Where are you gonna stay?
because the only way to get to Antarctica, you have to go to Buenos Aires
Yeah.
or a place in Chile, and then they boat you down or fly you down. I don't remember how they do it, but then you're there.
Boat would suck.
This seems like
Right?
too much work.
Then when you're
Yeah.
there, you they probably fly you. Now that I think of it, but they probably fly you down there, and then when you're there, you like see the penguins, and then you stay in this thing for like a night, and then you just go back.
So it's an overnighter.
You
Yeah.
probably got to fly in one of those like shitty,
Oh,
like
God, that'd be scary.
3-seat planes or whatever that
Yeah.
always crash.
And they
there's-
make you
no.
fly it for a while because the pilots get tired. I think
bet.
you have to take over,
And there's only like a certain area that you can actually like
go in and see.
go in and see because they've got like protections on a lot of Antarctica, and then some of the bases are not like American or whatever.
Why
but-
were you looking at this?
I don't know
'Cause
why.
you want to do it?
Because there is a travel nurse of ours who went to Antarctica,
Oh,
and she
snap.
she submitted some photos,
Dang.
and to our photo contest, I think, and so we're going through those and judging those and whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
So you had to look it up and see what's
yeah.
up.
So I was like, which we announced the winner of that last week. So if you missed that, go check that out.
Nice.
So I was looking at him like, how did she get to Antarctica? I didn't even think that was a thing. I thought you had to be a
just
scientist,
yeah.
right? To have the right to go. And apparently it's not that hard if you go to Chile or Buenos Aires and they fly you down there, and it costs $8,000.
It's a great bar story of like, oh yeah, I've been to Antarctica.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
I've been there.
I mean,
Look, once you get down there for $50, they'll take you on a boat anywhere you want
Right.
to go. So
Huh.
and what
Wow.
are you eating? Like, is it? I don't know, but I didn't look into it too far. But it's a thing. You can do it.
why is Dolan's concerned? What are you going to eat?
Well, I'm just
Well, you get there.
I'm
What you
just
gotta-
curious. Like, you'd have to probably bring like
Got to bring a sack lunch.
I suppose,
the
yeah.
MREs? Like, are you just eating
maybe.
MREs?
I don't know.
You know how much energy your body's burning, like trying to stay warm in
that's gotta be
Antarctica?
a lot, ton.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Here's kind of related, but not.
'Kay.
But I was watching a show with Oscar the other day, and they were at Chernobyl. You know this place. Mm-hmm. They had a cafeteria, an active cafeteria in Chernobyl for the security guys that work there, like the military.
Yeah.
So they ate lunch at the cafeteria in Chernobyl, and I was just like, "What? Who the hell?
That's cool.
How'd you go? I got to go to work at the cafeteria in Chernobyl."
Have I told? I've told you my Chernobyl story.
No,
right?
I don't think so.
I don't
Okay,
think
so
so.
we adopted our son from Siberia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And our driver, who spoke really, really good English, I asked him because we ate there. Go out to eat or whatever. The cucumbers and tomatoes there were awesome. Like I can't even explain how good they were.
Cucumbers and tomatoes?
Yes.
That's such a random...
You would get like a little side of cucumbers and tomatoes with every meal that you got or whatever, and they were delicious. Like they were like candy. They were so amazing.
Okay.
Wow.
And so I asked him. His name was Vladimir. Surprise. I'm like, Vladimir, why your cucumbers and tomatoes here taste so good? Why is that? And he was driving at the time, and he kind of looked back at me, and he gave me a sideways look, and he goes, Chernobyl, and just kept driving.
Oh, boy.
What does that mean?
Oh, because of the radiation.
Yeah, they're so good.
I
grow
don't,
so
I don't
good.
think that's actually true.
He's probably messing with you.
He had a very dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
There was also a time, so we went with him. He was with us in Moscow, and it's such a tangent. And they're all once you go through Vladimir or through Lenin's tomb, you go out on the backside of Red Square right there, and along the wall you see a bunch of plaques and it's all the cosmonauts. And we were looking at him. I'm like, Vladimir, what's going on here? Like, what's all this? What are all these? And they look like dead cosmonauts. And he's like, yeah, our space program, not so good.
Oh, jeez. Ugh.
That is...
I miss him. He was such a fun guy.
How did you hook up with Vladimir?
The orphan, the adoption agency and the orphanage.
They're like, hey, we got a guy for you.
We paid him in American dollars, and he would take us anywhere we wanted to go.
Awesome.
Anywhere. We're like,
Really?
we want to go to McDonald's. Vladimir's like, oh, yeah, I'll take you. He take us to McDonald's. I had to buy him McDonald's, but that's okay. I mean, he
Yeah,
drove
why
us
not?
there.
Yeah.
So,
What do they have in... What is their McDonald's like? Is it Stroganoff?
no. It was legit.
It was
like
legit.
regular
Like
McDonald's.
you just McDouble.
That's another story that I could not order because they don't care about Americans there. And this was just outside of Red Square, and we had walked there one time. Vladimir wasn't with us. So we walked there, and Maddox was with us right after we adopted him. And we went up, and I'm trying to order off the menu, just pointing, and she was like, "Niet." And pushed me out of line, like the lady behind the counter. She's like, "No, I don't want to hear your American, your English.
That's
I don't
right.
Get out of here." So Jenny went up there and actually got ordered or whatever. Like she was much nicer to female Americans than male.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang. I mean, I feel like I've had that happen to me at McDonald's, but that's here.
They don't want to just get through the line. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
You better know what you want. Don't be
Yeah.
thinking up here. We
Yeah.
don't have time for that.
Yet. Number 5, Beer Advocate magazine named Surly top brewery in 2007 in the
Okay.
country. Number 6, Surly was started in a garage. Imagine that. They were home brewers.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we talked
yeah.
about that. Number 7, it's never too early for a Surly. Thanks mostly to their coffee bender. These dudes make a lot of creative suds, but is there one used making real coffee and cold extract process that gives it an iced AM beverage flavor.
That one is amazing.
The coffee bender's good?
Oh, yeah. I think they still have that here in Nebraska.
This is what we were talking about earlier. Number 8, the Prohibition prevented Surly from opening a tap room. So it was an old Prohibition law that stopped them from brewing or from serving their own beers at the brewery.
I think, didn't we name the person who got that changed?
We did.
In
Yeah,
the
we
last
did.
episode. Last Surly episode,
Yeah.
we told the story about that. So
And if I'm not mistaken, sadly, she died.
Yes.
She was a legislator that died after the bill was
Introduced
she
or whatever, but didn't
the
go through.
bill,
Yeah.
And then she passed away, and then
And
it
it went
passed,
through.
and they
And
had
then
a
it went
big.
through, yeah.
And so number 9, Surly's original brewing equipment was all made in Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting. And then number 10, you can actually get Surly beer on Sun Country Airline flights.
Sun Country?
Sun Country Airlines, you can get a Surly.
Never heard of Sun Country.
Neither have I.
Nope.
And I've flown a lot.
but it's just like a
you don't-
small
If you don't know.
southern plane or northern plane. I don't know.
Well,
There you go. 10 things you didn't know.
there was only one place for me to go.
Okay.
I like music.
Okay. Minnesota has a lot of music.
Minnesota has a lot of music.
Tons.
Oh
But
my
guess
gosh.
what else there is?
Yeah.
There's a band called The Darkness.
Okay.
Okay.
They're out of England.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to talk about them.
All right.
I'm going to drop some knowledge on you guys.
All right.
What kind of music do they produce?
Rock.
Well, dirt.
Passing on the drive and you're behind the steering wheel. Touching you, touching me.
The Darkness, British rock band. Lead singer, lead guitar player Justin Hawkins. His brother Dan was rhythm guitar and backing vocals, which makes sense when your brothers' harmonies are just like that. You don't have to hardly think about them.
Okay.
Frankie Poullain, I'm going to say Poullain, Poullain, played the bass, your instrument.
Yeah.
And Rufus Tiger Taylor, that's a great British name, right?
Yeah.
He was on the drums.
That sounds like a
And
drummer's
they
name.
all played through Marshall amps.
Probably.
Yep.
Probably. 2003, their first album came out. It was called Permission to Land.
Okay.
And it was huge,
Really?
especially in England. 4 times platinum,
What? And I've never heard of these guys.
1.3 million sales just alone in the UK. They had 4 singles. One was called I Believe in a Thing Called Love. And that's their big hit. Almost 200 million plays on Spotify.
I've heard that.
Wait, how does it go? Because
Not like that.
That's not,
Yeah, it's close to that.
that's what it is, right?
Their second single, Get Your Hands Off My Woman, was covered by Ben Folds on a live album, which is funny.
That's interesting.
One of their songs called Growing on Me and Love is Only a Feeling. So that album from 2003, every song on it, I think there's 12. Every one of them on Spotify had over, I think, at least 1.5 to 2 million plays. And then the first single, I Believe in a Thing Called Love, was almost 200 million plays. So tons.
I certainly hope Dolan is playing it over whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I am.
there we go.
So because of the album, and it kept selling and selling and selling and selling, and it was like glam rock is what it's categorized as, but for me it's closer if you mesh that with like Iron Maiden, right? So it's got
Yeah.
riffs, it's got heavy bass, it's got drum, like it's loud and it's pulsing a lot of it.
Okay.
Because of that, they get to open for Metallica.
Whoa.
Cool.
The European tour of Metallica for the whole summer, 2003.
That's legit.
The Summer Sanatorium Tour.
Okay.
So they got some more there. 2005, they put out their second album, One Way Ticket to Hell,
Well,
and they tour. So they've been touring 3 years straight, basically. And the bass player's like, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I thought we were going to be a bar band. I'm out. Peace. And Justin, the singer and guitar player, one of the things that happens maybe when you're a megastar on the road is you get to do whatever you want.
almost sure.
And sometimes that's great. And sometimes it's not. For this guy, it was not great. And he became quite enabled by alcohol and cocaine. And when
a
you
great combo.
see a picture of this guy, you'd say, yeah, I'll buy that. I remember the video for the first single. He looks like he weighs about 78 pounds.
Oh, geez.
Like he looks like a skeleton with some skin on it. They were like Britain's answer to the Strokes.
Okay.
So like in New York City around the same time, 2003, 2002, it was kind of like a callback to the 70s in rock and sludgy, like the, Iggy and the Stooges and that sort of like dirty sound. Well, in England, they were like, oh yeah, well, we like David Bowie. We want that 70s sound. T-Rex and bands like that. So basically T-Rex. That's a good combination there. So that was a lot of guitar, a lot of solos, falsetto, like mega falsetto, like the highest falsetto you've ever heard from a dude. That's kind of that
the part
song.
I was singing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Then they broke up. After the guy goes to rehab-ish in 2005, they're like, well, the other guys they make a new band, not unlike Stone Temple Pilots did.
Right.
Remember that?
Velvet Revolver.
No. So when Scott Weiland went away, and the rest of them were left, and they're like, well, we're still pretty kick-ass musicians.
Yeah.
We should make a band. Let's get a new singer. And they did. They had one album. It was called Talk Show. That was the band.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they had a band called Talk Show. Velvet Revolver was Scott Weiland. Supergroup.
That's right.
With some of the other guys. But yeah, Slash.
That's right.
Yeah. So these guys made their own band. They didn't do nothing. He did his own thing. Didn't do nothing. 2011, 6 years later, like reunion show.
Okay.
Everybody's back. The original group. Let's play some shows. And they did it. And then they, from there on, kind of came Spinal Tap. New drummer, new bass player, new drummer, new bass player, new drummer, new bass player. Forever and ever and ever. And it was just kind of the Hawkins guys that was stuck around. They just released a new album in October 15th, 2021. That was the most recent one. So
Wow.
their 7th studio album. None of them have done anything like the first one. And they were just sleazy, dirty rock and roll. And they're called The Dark.
I believe in a thing called love. Just a little more. With a chance we can make it now. We can make it till the sun goes down. I believe in a thing called love.
I went to look it up because I wanted to know. Because, here's the thing. If you're familiar with 80s metal artwork at all, you know who Pusshead is.
Right.
He did a ton of Metallica. He was an artist forever. This is not. So every year, it looks like every year Surly holds an art contest to be the artist for Darkness. So this year, this past year, when this came out, 2022, the artist's name was Eddie Wolf. You can look him up. He's on Instagram at Electric Yeti. That's his Instagram handle.
Oh, that's cool.
Electric Yeti.
Yeah, I like
Electric
that.
Yeti.
But here's the thing: if I compared his artwork and I said, okay, there's some, there's definitely some Pusshead in this, I don't think that's an insult at all. He would probably be very honored because that guy's art is off the charts.
It's very
awesome.
mystical, that hand. And then it's got like the all-seeing eye in the middle. And then the skull with wings almost on, I would say.
It's cool, like that they printed it all in that like purple metallic on the box.
This box can't be cheap to produce, right? I mean, it's a harder cardboard. It's a heavier cardboard.
How much was the one can?
It's probably
$10-ish,
No,
maybe?
it's probably 14.
$14?
Probably.
I believe it. I mean, just the
with
box.
the high V markup and everything.
Yeah.
So they used to be in bottles. The first time I bought these in a
Yep.
box, like that was in a bottle.
Yep.
But I think you get more beer in the can. Because I think that it's just a little bit bigger. So
Dolan, you want to finish this off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
and that's what I got for us.
So TripAdvisor on this. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you both a question. Let's say you have a party of 8 or more.
Okay.
Let's say you have 10 or more.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
And you want to go out to eat.
Yeah.
And you get the check at the end of dinner.
Okay.
What generally happens with that?
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
people pretend like, I'll get it.
No, they don't alligator arm. Well, they
Tap,
might.
tap. I
right?
forgot my wallet.
Oh, no. What do they generally add to larger parties?
An automatic gratuity.
Yeah.
Ding,
gratuity.
ding, ding. Okay. That's typical, right? I'm not making that
Yeah,
up.
no, that's
That's pretty standard.
especially with bigger groups.
4.5 out of 5 on 849 reviews. So one of the bad ones was from Wade W. He only has one review on,
okay.
so it's fairly typical. Great food, but be warned if you have more than 8 people. We were in a group of people where everyone was paying their own tab, but after receiving the check, there was an automatic 20% service charge. I have no problem tipping, and I typically tip above average when there's great service, and below average if the service was bad. Essentially, I tip based on the quality of service. Okay, fine.
Sure.
Okay.
When it is forced down my throat simply because of the number of people in our group exceeded a certain number, I have a huge problem with that. Surly has become one of my favorite places to eat in the area, but now I will never go there again.
Okay. Bye-bye.
You came with a party of 8. It doesn't matter how many checks you're actually doing them a disservice by splitting it up and making it harder for the
Then they gotta pay.
Newsflash. There's Venmo. Just put it on one check and Venmo each other.
Exactly.
Come on. Cash App, Facebook Pay. There's so many of them out there.
Yeah.
Come on. Get with it.
Yeah.
Boomers, bro. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, most places that you go, it says that right on the menu.
Yes.
It's usually not a surprise.
Yes.
You know? Like,
No.
it usually says, like, parties of 8 or whatever, you're going to get this whatever percentage.
Service fee. You're big. It's harder, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had gone back to the original when we did this for Oktoberfest, and I looked to see which one I used, which TripAdvisor I used. Remember the lady that had to stand outside on Darkness Day in the rain? So she went there on Darkness Day.
Busiest
and
day
was
of their whole year, yeah.
pissed.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it was so busy. Like, I don't even know what to. Yeah, go back and listen to that episode. It was a great episode about a really good Oktoberfest
Surly
beer.
Fest.
Yeah, but
That's funny to me.
yeah, she went on Darkness Day, and and she had to stand in line. Oh no,
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry for your loss.
Untapped. 709 check-ins. So limited, but 709 check-ins on this one.
That's more than last week's beer.
It is, yeah.
And this is only this year.
And it
beer.
doesn't necessarily say how many, like what it's limited to, but I know it's fairly limited.
Did we look at the ABV on this one?
It's like 12, right?
So, yeah, exactly 12.
Yeah, there you go.
Good call.
Yeah.
It's a good beer. Holy cow, it was a good beer.
Rye barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout with cacao, raspberry, and vanilla beans.
I'll buy every one of these if I go back to the store and they're there.
Just the vanilla bean, like,
man.
I believe it's $14 a can.
I like it because it wasn't that sweet.
Right.
You know,
It
like
really wasn't.
sometimes you get those, especially raspberry to me comes off sweet. This one was not that sweet.
So, I hate raspberries. Like, I cannot... I have a bunch of involuntary raspberry bushes in my backyard.
Yeah.
I feed them to my dogs.
So rabbits like them.
Rabbits like
yeah,
them too,
or
yeah.
Sam, she likes them. But, like, I cannot stand it. But, however, I like raspberry adjunct. Like, I like it in my tea. I love raspberry tea.
Yeah.
I love raspberry-flavored beers. I mean...
Is
I
it
don't
because the
understand.
raspberries are hairy?
The consistency.
I don't
gets
think it
stuck in your
has
teeth.
anything to do with the consistency. It's all flavor for me. Like, it's like, oh, that's disgusting. I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't like the actual berry, and I think that taste buds change all the time. So
Yeah.
I do try them every year that they grow in my backyard.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Nope,
pop one in.
Still don't like it.
No, the black ones though. I like the black ones, but the red ones can't do them.
Yep.
Yeah, but I like this beer a lot, so I'm gonna go 3.87.
I'm going to say 4.01.
4.11.
Oh,
Okay.
Pretty
That's pretty high.
Pretty high. Yeah.
Well, I get it.
okay.
When you know what you're going for. I knew exactly when I saw it what I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought maybe price point would drop it a little bit.
Well, you're buying it on purpose.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like most of these, and this one didn't taste that sweet, but all the ones I talked about earlier, they all sounded like just dessert, you know? So that would be my only hesitation of buying one of these because I would be scared it was going to be sweet, and it wasn't.
That would explain your 375 on the blueberry last year.
Yeah, I think that one was sweet.
Maybe.
Yeah.
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 Because I think it had syrup in it too.
That's entirely possible. I don't
Really?
remember, quite honestly. I know enough. I gave it a 4.5. So, I mean,
There you
that's... But that's exactly what I want. I want a good, heavy fruit, not overly sweet, but
Yeah.
with a really good stout background.
Well, there's something about like tart flavors like raspberry and then just dark cacao.
Yeah.
That's so good. I don't know.
It just balances nice.
Yeah, it is really good.
Okay. So Dolan, let me think. We're a couple weeks away from spring training.
Well, yes, our spring training episode will actually come out a week after spring training starts.
Okay,
So we're a week away from spring training.
but we have we have a smoothie beer, don't we?
So we'll do. I can't remember what's
Yeah,
next.
we have smoothie sours, I
want to say,
believe.
yeah, it's possibly the
that's-
craziest lineup of fruit flavors that we've ever had.
Yeah,
Definitely the longest.
Definitely.
I think we have a smoothie from 405 that we're going to do after spring training.
Oh, maybe that's after. Maybe.
Yeah, the week after spring training, that's when we're going to do that. But I don't know what's next before spring training. I forgot already.
We'd have to
look at the schedule.
Well, here's the thing. You got to tune in next week to find out.
Yeah.
So until then, we're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have another beer.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.